Hello, Leo. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, so obviously not a tea leaf, right? We have a tarot card. We do have the Nine of Cups, which has everything to do with happiness. This is the card where our wishes kind of start to come true, right? We start to receive that which we have prayed for, which we have worked hard for, which we have made appeals. And so now there is a fullness. And that's a great energy to start with, right? So I'm hoping, Leo, my darlings, that, this is like kind of the whole vibe of your life right now. I think that some people thrive off of, being under pressure, things going wrong. It makes them work harder. It makes them more innovative. But then there are some people that really do operate more smoothly when there is some goodness there. I mean, it feels good. You can see where you are building, where things are coming together, where you have done the work. And there's a sense of pride and ease. Okay. So I want to thank you for being here. I absolutely love doing these readings. I haven't been able to do as many readings lately. I've done some live streams and stuff. I just haven't been able to. But, almost through the holidays, and we will hopefully be back to doing a lot more stuff. Get more videos out. So I want to start here. And also, if you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. I always so enjoy the interaction. Okay. So we have a tree, you can see. And this is an old tree. It's got a big trunk. It's set in there. It reminds me of maybe like a big old ash tree, maybe like an oak, something like this. Okay. Now, in the center, I almost imagine it's like for some reason, it feels like a mailbox or like a letter or some kind of sign, some kind of, I almost feel like it's like the tree has to do with your life, of course, right? It's the tree of life. It's also our lineage, the family tree. But it is really everything, right? And everyone. And in this case, it feels to me like this is a maybe community or grouping of people that you identify with in some way, right? It could be like, your faith, or maybe it has to do with a belief system, politics, art movements, whatever it might be. Listen, the internets are full. I mean, they're just full of possibilities, right? So I feel that this is not, it's not just some passing phase. It's not just something you just got into. This is something that you've spent years with. Years, maybe even decades. It feels like family. This is a fundamental part of your identity. Okay? Now, we have a person over here. It looks like they're running. We have the head. We have the body would be here. The leg. They're running. They're running. They're running. Now, in their hand, it does look like they have some kind of blade, right? So we also have on the other side the scorpion. Okay. We have up here a person holding an umbrella. And behind them, we have another person that looks like they're maybe also holding an umbrella. We seem to have, it seems like there's preparation for some kind of deluge, right? Some kind of just onslaught of trouble. That's what it feels like, trouble. I do think that there is a sense of betrayal here. And I think that it does directly affect you, or it did. It's already happened, possibly. I do feel like there's almost kind of a sense of you were kind of forewarned. Maybe not like super directly, but I feel like people in your life definitely tried to be like, yo, what's up with this? Or did you notice, like, or have you ever thought about maybe dropping hints, right? And I think that you fully picked up on that. It's not like it was over your head or anything, but it seems to me that you chose to kind of ignore this. And you did it more than once, and you knew to some degree. And so I feel that this has been somebody really coming for you. You know, maybe it's at work. Maybe it's like, social politics. Which, by the way, so wild. I always forget, like, when you are super involved with, like, family or friends, that there are social politics. I'm going through a little situation with family stuff. Nothing important, but, like, holidays just make people... I don't know what, man. I just want some chill holidays, right? I just want things to be smooth. I want to, get all the stuff I need to cooked and baked and all that. And I just want to be on time if I can, right? And I also want like a couple days where I can just be with my daughter and my husband. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I care about. Beyond that, you forget that other people aren't living the same way. And then these things, they arise, right? And you know that they can because you know the person. They're volatile. And casting no dispersion on anybody I'm an emotional roller coaster. I can definitely be a very volatile person. I'm not saying that I can't. But in this situation, it's like, you care about the person, or at least like the person, or want to keep the peace enough that you just let things be. But now they've been emboldened for some reason. Why? I don't know. But I can see them coming. And I feel like you are aware of this, or you're becoming aware of this. And I think that it's something that, well, ultimately, I feel like you are not going to put up with it. We have that Scorpion energy. Usually I'd be like, oh, there's a Scorpion around. We have the person over here. I feel like you are just ready to meet this energy with nope. And if you have to protect yourself, you are going to do it quickly, and you're going to do it very intentionally. One strike. This isn't going to be a back and forth. This isn't going to be a, big ordeal for you. You're not going to let this take over, sit around stewing about it, thinking about it. No. You're busy, dude. You have a lot going on. So, I do feel that you are definitely more in this, like, I'm already prepared for this. It's probably happened before, or something similar. So you're not going to let it get to you. You're going to do your thing. You're going to move forward. And honestly, I think that will undo. I think it will undo this person's malice because I think they have forgotten themselves. And I don't think this has anything to do with you, really. Now, I want to turn this thing here. Okay, we have the Empress right here. She's seated. She has a bird on her hand. We have a heart on a string. Also the number 7. We have a person standing in front of a horse. And we have a person here standing, holding, it looks like some kind of, I almost imagine like a tray of, or like loaves of bread or something. And then we have the furnace or the hearth, right? The fireplace, the stove, the cooking place, the center of the home. Now, we also have, it looks like a 6. No. We have, it looks like a 9 right here. That looks like a 9 or like a shrimp. We also have, yes, look, 6, 7 and the letter K. We have 7 repeated again down here. A lot of 7. This one up here, I'm not saying anything, but it does look like it says I, heart, and then like either a spade or a mushroom. Just saying. So we have, and then, we have the guy on the horse down here. Okay, so that's cool. So we have the continuation down here. All right, so to me, what this feels like is there's a sense of having to start kind of your own branch of the family. I feel like it's not even that like you had a falling out necessarily. I just feel like you kind of, you went your own way. You had your own family and now that family has grown, right? You might be a grandparent. You might be, your kids are getting older, whatever it is. Now, I feel that you're very much in that Empress energy. Now, you might not be a woman, right? That doesn't matter. We all contain every archetype. The Empress is one that is life-bringing, makes things grow, right? Has intuition, is very watery, but also very earthy. Okay, has the fire, most definitely, but it's hidden. It's more hidden, right? This is kind of more even, there's some airiness, definitely. And to me, it's a force. It is firm. But there's also almost not whimsical. I don't want to say whimsical because that makes it sound like really like kind of flaky. It's not. It's like elemental, very elemental energy. Okay, so commanding, very commanding, but in a way that is like honey. Okay, so we also have the person with the horse, and the horse to me is always about movement. Okay, and to be standing face to face with the horse, this is a decision, a choice that you are pondering. Do I stay? Do I go? Is this the time? Okay. Now, in the heart of things, I really feel like you take a lot of joy in taking care of yours, right? Being maybe the head of the family or close to. I think that you also just really, you're like a person that gets a lot of joy out of giving versus getting something, right? You are happy to bake the, cupcakes for the party and show up at somebody's house with a casserole, or, be the one that will actually like show up when they need to move or something like this. You are a person that thrives when you are being of service. Okay, so I feel like this is a time in your life where you turn away from a lot of the troubles of, well, other people kind of putting you through ordeals because they themselves are, well, going through their own processes, right? And I feel like you're almost not in a hermit mode, but in a very like, I'm not going to commit to anything right now kind of mode. But what you are committing to is doing the work. I see you doing things that make you feel like your life is meaningful. Like you're doing something to make the world better. Now, I also see you making a big change in the next year. And I feel like there's a sense of, I don't know why, but it feels like you're going to be going south from wherever you are. And there seems to be this like sense of justice, or maybe somebody named Justine maybe. I feel like, and look we have a person up here throwing up the peace sign. Here's the head and then peace sign. Hands. Ooh, we also, look at that. We have it. Ooh, that looks like a genie or like maybe a djinn. Now the djinn, you might think, oh, the djinn are terrible. They're scary. They're bad, right? They're not necessarily. Some of them, right? The djinn, if you know what I'm talking about, these are kind of elemental spirits that dwell in arid places, right? They are elementally aligned with air and fire. They are ash, right? You might usually think of them as being sand or something like that, but no, they are actually of the ash. And they span the spectrum of benevolent to malevolent. That means mean, or well, good, happy, nice, sweet, angelic, right? All the way to just the very mean, cruel, right? So I feel like you're just, and this is the happiness, really. I feel like you're just doing the things that make you feel like you're living on the path, right? You're doing the inner work. You're doing the spiritual work. And you're having profound interactions. Probably in the dream world a lot, but maybe also encounters. It feels like you are having moments where you're waking up to life more so than you have in many years. Even if you're super aware, you're just super aware that there's something beneath or something layered into. Right? And there's many somethings probably. But sometimes in our lives, we get so wrapped up in the mundane and we're just surviving that we forget. We forget how real and immediate it really is. But you are remembering right now. Now, we have W-A, and it looks like an S to me. W-A-S was if that means anything. We also have the letter R. We have, it looks like a feminine person or a goddess energy. And then we have a raven flying. We have another one over here. Almost as if she's commanding. Now, to me, the raven really is an indicator that I am going the right way. That I'm being looked out for. In some people's minds, these birds are more of like death, right? My own namesake comes from Poe, of course. My name is Lenor, which is synonymous with a person that he called Lenor. Her name was actually, I think, Helen. And Lenor actually comes from the name Helen or light. But in this, in this world of Poe, it is Lenor, and then the raven shows up, and the raven is who, what? The night visitor, the death at her door, right? And so, first, that's what I think a lot of people kind of connect them as. I honestly don't, even though it is very related to my name. I think of the raven as being the dream bringer, the world builder, carrying around the world like a little berry in its beak. It is a very prophetic energy. It's also one that feels lonely. Looks lonely, but there's also a sense of being able to dwell in the desert by oneself. If you could imagine seeing a blackbird way out there in the road in the middle of nowhere. We see this a lot in the prairie here because there are a lot of fields and things, but you'll see one blackbird out there. Now, they probably have friends somewhere around, but it looks lonely, but it also looks so powerful and wonderful to be able to stand up in this open land with the open sky and do the work that you need to do to thrive. I think that's a beautiful image. And so I feel that there is a lot of command for you now because you feel good about what you're doing. You're getting away from all of the noise of things, the distraction, the emotional pitfalls, and so on. So I'm happy. I'm happy for you, Leo. Honestly, 100%. I don't know. Hasn't this year been just hard enough, for everybody? Okay, number 11. I'm at a point, no fighting. 94. 11, 94, and last lucky number is 39. All right. Okay, so that's it, Leo. I love you. We'll talk soon. Take care of yourself. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. This new moon solstice combo, it's gonna be powerful. Get ready. I love you.